You know what drives me crazy? The way that it's been expressed to me, like, if I started an OnlyFans right now, like, I'm not gonna make any money. A girl could start an OnlyFans, she gonna make some money right now. It's like, but why you mad at that, dog? Like, what? So what? Like, let her get hers. I'm not telling you that's the person you want to go and, like, take a serious relationship with. Don't take the leap.
And why not, though?
I love that sound.
I'll be fine, just a drink in my wine.
Any of you motherfuckers that don't drink wine, fuck you start tonight.
It's time for coffee and Cabernet. The best way to start and end your day.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Coffee and Cabernet, the best way to start and end your day. Now, today's guest, I've had the pleasure. Well, I don't know about pleasure. Hold on. I don't want to get your head that big. I don't want to get it that big. I've had the opportunity, the experience of being able to work alongside this person.
I think that's the good word.
That's the good one, right?
That's to experience it firsthand.
I'm glad you agree. Throughout the years, I've worked with this person, but never at one particular place. It's actually been, like, spread out, like, a few years here, a couple years here. Long story short, I can't really get rid of her.
You can't get rid of him. I can't get rid of him.
No, but seriously, if I had to define it, I'd say from a professional standpoint is resilience.
Thank you.
From a personal standpoint,
It's annoying.
you just really stubborn. You're a really stubborn person.
It's annoying that I can't get rid of you.
Guys, you could hear her nationwide on SiriusXM. Give it up for Carolina Calix.
Thank you. Wow, what an introduction.
I like it because I like it.
Yes. Thank God you don't. I mean, thank God you do.
Can you imagine?
Because can I imagine if you did it, it would be a lot.
All right, fantastic. Look, I kind of just want to jump right into this. So this is a new project I've been working on. Yeah. But long story short, what we're going to do is kind of do interview style kind of podcast while at the same time taking you through a journey of tantalizing wine tasting.
Loving the words that you're using.
You see me. So I'm going to hook you up. So check this out. Let's dive right into our first wine. So this is going to be our Cooper's Hot Moscato. Aromas of ripe peaches and melon with white flowers like honeysuckle jumping out the glass.
I'm waiting for it to, like, hop out and just, Moscato.
And on the palate, you're going to taste fruits like nectarine and guava. It's basically like un pastelito, but like in a drink.
Okay, interesting. Let's do it. Cheers to you and your show. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you.
Aren't you supposed to smell it first? You just, like, chugged it down.
I've been thirsty.
It's not even Thursday, but it's okay. It is Tuesday.
That it is.
It is good. I feel that.
It's sweet, right?
It is.
Well, what's cool about this for me is that the Moscato, I don't know about you, but I remember the first time I jumped into a Moscato.
Yeah, me too. That's like everybody's first wine.
It was everybody's like beginner starter pack, and I'm just gonna say it for what it was. Like, we had like probably the biggest rapper of our time, like always rapping about it, like in all of his songs or a bunch of his songs. Like, you know what, I'm gonna buy about a Moscato. You see it at CVS or at the Walgreens. It's good price, big amount. But this particular Moscato to me doesn't taste as sweet.
I agree.
Right?
I will say that. Usually they're a lot sweeter.
Right. It's kind of like me. It's like, I'm a little sweet, not too sweet.
Danny, let's get back to
all right. Let's not talk about me. So check this out. So I just told you I've worked with you throughout the years, so I've had the opportunity to kind of see like the climb with you. So from your perspective, walk me a little bit through your journey, kind of like timeline style.
I mean, honestly, I think one of the better stories of my climb was the way I started.
Okay.
And it was because it was so very serendipitous. Miami girl, born and raised. So, of course, you know, especially down here, we have a heritage of what Miami stations sound like and what they are.
You almost made me talk. I was going to be like, is that where that accent comes?
And, of course, I'm your Miami mommy. So, but yeah, no. So when I got into radio, it was by mistake. I say it's by mistake, but I think it always just was in my future because I did TV production in high school. I knew editing. I knew all of that. I wanted to be in entertainment, but, Hispanic, Hondureña, and first generation here, wanted to make sure that what I went after and I studied, I was going to be able to pay back. And during that journey of studying speech therapy, I actually won some tickets to go watch The Throne with Jay-Z and Kanye West, with Power 96. Shout out to them, the first station that took me in. And through that, I got to meet the promotions director, and I was just like, yeah, I wanted to be in this. And I was like, if you have advice of how to get in, what would you tell me? And he's like, you know what? You're talking to the perfect person. Do you need internship hours? And I was like, I actually do. I was right in the middle. It was like 3 credits away from speech therapy. I needed internship hours. So it worked out perfect. That's how I got my foot into the building. And then it just kind of snowballed.
Hold on. Because that part, I mean, you probably told me this story like once upon a time. You're basically telling me that you won tickets.
Yeah.
And then you won more than just tickets. You showed up and you were like, hey, while we're at it, can I also have this on the side? And they gave it to you.
Pretty much. So, like, okay, I know it's
crazy.
Hold on, but I know it sounds
That's
really
crazy.
It sounds easy, but the thing was, at that point, I was an Allstate insurance agent. So I was like, I was like 19, grabbing the bag. But I was working in Kendall, and at that time, Power 96, which back then was Beasley, was in, shout out to Beasley. Yeah. So I had multiple calls with the promotions team where I was like, hey, we kind of work the same hours. We have a 9 to 5 shift. Like, I need to get these tickets. I really want to go to this show. And in one of those, I ended up talking to the director, shout out to Porfi and Ruben, that were basically the leads of what that was. And he's like, listen, we're doing House of Horrors. I can never that word, horrors. It's out here in Miami, and that was a halfway point for me. So I met them there, and after like all those conversations, while waiting for the tickets, we just had like the talk of, hey, yeah, I'm doing speech therapy, and I would love to do this and that. And then I just shot my shot, and I was like, yo, so what if I wanted to be in this? And it worked out.
I just shot my shot.
Yeah.
I would like complain a little bit if I didn't also have like a nice like, oh snap, this kind of just happened. But things don't just happen.
They don't
just happen. Like, while there's like an extreme amount of luck there, like I gotta tell you, like it wouldn't have been an opportunity for you had you not been prepared for it. I think that comes back from your high school like stuff and the passion like prior to.
Of course. And we were just saying that I think, I always be like, oh, it's luck, or, and it kind of really wasn't. If it wasn't because I had known how to, edit video, how to do audio, how to add that. Exactly. Yeah. Plus, you add that I was also studying speech therapy, which speech has to do with radio. And then I am this loud ass person and they put me in the promotions. It worked out. But no, nothing is ever luck. One of the biggest things that I'm a big believer in is, if you really want something, ask, prepare yourself, because that moment is definitely preparation meets opportunity, and that's what creates that luck for you. And for sure, that's what created it for me.
I believe that.
Yeah.
I believe that. Now, going along with this timeline, by the time we met, so similar to you, and I'm going to spare you guys details, this isn't about me, but I also had the internship opportunity with Power 96, like once upon a time. By the time I got there, though, you were already doing like big things, but not at Power anymore.
No. So I was at the sister station. I was at Kiss Country, which a lot of people tend to be very surprised that I worked for the country station, because as you can see, I don't look like I know country. And I actually did not know country when I got into that station. I took it for the opportunity of what it was.
That's fair to say, because especially I think in those times, like there wasn't a big community, like a big country community. I think it was just starting to emerge a little bit.
No,
or was it just like me, like, or us, or?
I think it was us.
It was us.
So it was a very big community in the sense that it seemed to be more in Broward. And I think you, like me, until we got into radio, we started really exploring the rest of South Miami or South Florida.
In other words, evolve.
We opened our eyes that there was more than Miami.
Absolutely.
Especially born and raised down here. I think when people would be like, come to Broward, come to West Palm, we're like, for what? We have everything and more down here in Miami. Like, you guys come down here.
Uh-huh.
So, but no, once I got into the country thing, I realized it was a really big community and a very
Like loyal. Like
yes.
Yeah.
I met the first time I went to the chili cook-off, I met a listener who had tattooed the logo on him. The Kiss Country logo.
The radio station.
The
logo.
radio station logo on him. And when he saw that I was wearing a Kiss Country shirt, he literally was like, oh, I love you guys. And I was like, this does not happen in like Power 90. I don't know anybody who has a Power 96 logo or a 99 Jams or a 103.5 The Beat logo. And listen, there are big stations.
I don't think there's been anybody since.
But I don't.
That's loyal to the T.
That is loyalty. And not only that, the country scene is very, very small. So to get into it, you learn a lot. I would say if you don't know country and you want to pursue something and especially in this career, if it opens up, go for it. It's an eye-opening genre. And culture, I think, is culture, period. So, but that's where I started. I was a producer, a morning show producer there.
Okay. So we've jumped now. It's rhythmic, which was power. A little bit of everything. And now we're at country music, which is a big shift, especially going back to what you said. Like, you got to sometimes be your own, you got to be the audience or to be as relatable as possible. So if you're at Power, you grew up in Miami, that makes a lot of sense. You're going to resonate with that crowd. For you to be able to transition and do well there, like, says a lot about, like, who you are as a professional.
Thank you.
Yeah. But let's keep it going. Because then after that, like, your journey doesn't stop there. Like, that was just another stop for you.
No, not at all. It doesn't stop there. After that, I actually jumped over to iHeart. I came here to Miami Media School. I got some credentials. I was, like I said, doing speech therapy. But I also wanted to go ahead and make sure that I stamped it. Very Hispanic, very, if there is not a title or a diploma to back you up, you know? So I came here, I did that.
Real quick.
And then I went to iHeart.
Shout out to Miami Media School.
Yep. Shout out to Miami Media School.
Okay, so at iHeart, what'd you do?
So at iHeart, I did a lot of things. But I think that was where I had the most growth. Because that's where I got taken out of being from the background into the mic itself.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, I was a co-host. I was the official weather anchor person for all 6 channels down here, which, funny enough, is one of the things that people know me the most by.
Before you continue, that was actually something that Cassandra, who I introduced you to a little while ago behind the scenes, she said, I like her. Like, I just love the way she says her name. I was like, I already know where that's from. That's like, and that was your traffic and that was your weather.
Yes. Carolina Calix con tu. Yep.
There you go. Yeah.
So one thing that I think actually opened the doors for me to continue growing and for my name to actually be recognized. I think a lot of us in radio sometimes think that it's just when you get into the music side of it, you know, that somebody's going to recognize you. But actually, it's those smaller things like the weather, like the traffic, putting your own twist to it that sometimes really resonates with people.
Yes, because I remember being told that it was like a dead end. Like, people like told me that aspect of what we do becomes like a dead end and not a lot of people make it out. But I know of 2 in particular. You're one of them.
I think it's how you look at it.
Yeah, I would say it's definitely based on perspective, but that was one of those perspectives, 100%.
Yeah. I also never sounded like your normal weather person.
No, for sure.
Traffic person. I sounded like this. So I was never like, and today it's going to be 89 outside and you're just going to take an umbrella. And I'd be like, no, grab your umbrella because it's going to rain outside. You might need your weather boots. And then on top of that, grab a tank top because it's going to be hot when it stops raining. And that's kind of how I kind of just approached it. And it molded my voice. It molded me to understand that, yes, many people could do this job, but not many people sound like me. And I think I'm very grateful for that stage of my career. And that's why I say iHeart gave me a lot of opportunity to grow and understand myself and to nurture my talent and to work with great people. Because not only that, but, I got to produce for Enrique and Santos. I got to produce for Elvis Duran and the morning show. And then I also got to be co-host for the night shows for Y100. I was literally the first Latina on there. And I'll take that back. Not the first Latina per se with the roots, but the first Latina to not be afraid to sound like I did.
To sound
like I wasn't trying to be Americanized. And they let me play that line very well because I did Y100 and I did Tu 94.9. So I was a nice marriage and meet of what those top 40 stations in Spanish and English were. And that just helped, again, that helped me with continuing to embrace my sound.
To which, again, is like more proof of like, it's almost like a chameleon, if you will, with it. Because I think it's hard for a lot of people. You're being told in radio that you want to like be yourself. And if yourself is this born and raised in a county a day Latina, like how do you project that on a country station? How do you get that across to an audience that's like maybe predominantly urban or the opposite thereof, like top 40, like type of stations where they're not totally used to that yet, but you were able to manage.
I was able to manage. And I also was able to realize that being part of a personality is understanding that you're not everybody's cup of tea.
Right.
So while some people felt really well represented, there was other people that were like, oh my God, she's watering down what this is supposed to be. And I was just like, no, I'm just reflective of what our community is.
To whoever's cup of tea you were not, may you be those other people's cup of wine then.
Yes, exactly.
Now, fast forward a little bit because you obviously kept it moving. Yeah, it's good. Like I am getting that honeysuckle.
Yeah. No, but it's not overwhelming. It's like not sweet.
It's not super sweet. That's why I like their Moscato. I was like, oh, okay, like this is not how Moscato tasted once upon a time.
No, it's not Shutter Home for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Shutter Home. We love
Yeah,
you. We love you. Nothing wrong with it, but just definitely not that one.
No, but I feel that. I remember it being like almost like a headache. Maybe
Yeah.
because we would drink a lot of it, but who knows? Then you ended up then we met each other again.
Then we met each other again.
Yes, at Hits.
At Hits 97.3.
That was fun.
Cox Media.
That was fun.
A shout out to Cox Media Group. I have a couple of Cox Medias around the nation. And that was a fun journey. I think that journey.
Okay.
That journey taught me the value of what I bring to the table.
Okay. I'm glad you got it. It's like you almost gathered your thoughts there a little bit.
Yes. But that journey also got me to expand out of South Florida. It gave me the opportunity.
That's right.
To broadcast in Tampa and Orlando. So I moved up from just being a South Florida personality to a half of Florida personality.
We're moving on up.
So I was hitting 3 different markets, which was a great opportunity. I also think they're great at building the brands and understanding on who they are and how
I agree with that.
To monetize that without being attached to a name like Cox Media, like iHeart, like, they're very much
on brand when it comes to their brands.
Yeah.
Especially, yeah, because then you start thinking about some of the other brands that
have either come out of the building,
like the sister stations,
or are in that building at the moment.
You're talking about like the actual like the talent, like the talent brand. You're talking about the talents brands. I thought you were referring to like the brands of the stations.
Well, no, the brands of the stations, they have heritage stations.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. Yeah.
They have Hot 105.
Yeah. Big stations.
Big stations. Huge stations.
Yeah.
But within those brands, they also have powerful personal brands as well, which I think, to a certain extent, I'm not sure if the word is unmatched, but I will say a lot of people that have Cox Media in their resume are very resilient, and they know exactly where they want to take their
There's that word again. It makes sense.
So that was an interesting one. I appreciate that building a lot.
Okay. And again, it didn't stop there.
No, it kept going.
It kept going.
Thank God.
So tell me about where you're at now.
So now I am on SiriusXM, a nationwide platform that just literally moved down here to Miami in May. So we're about to have a year.
It's going to be a year now.
Yeah.
Jeez. I feel like you've been doing that for a long time already.
It's about to be a year. I know it's just been so much growth, thankfully.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm very happy where I'm at. And honestly, it's a very big blessing because I feel like a lot of people tend to have to move to achieve what I have. And I thank God every day that for me, it came to me. SiriusXM came to Miami. I didn't have to go to New York. I didn't have to go to any other hubs. They came here to make a home. And I was a part of their launching and a part of their launching of a new station, a bilingual station that plays top 40 Spanish and English, trending viral, which again, is like you say, it's the marriage of the things that I've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like the whole thing of when you look back, you kind of understand your story more. And I'm like, wow, everything that I've been fighting for and who I am and sticking to the guns of how I sound and sticking to all of that, God had a plan. And I mean, at least till now, I could see that. And I'm very happy to be a part of that and to be in the forefront of that, you know?
Yo, if that's not something worth drinking to, I'm not sure what is. I'm not sure.
Cheers.
Cheers.
To represent that, yeah.
Out of all those places you hit,
Mm-hmm.
which one would you say has had the biggest impact on your career?
iHeart. iHeart, because
We have a favorite, folks.
no, well, I mean,
I'm
I love all of the places I've been
I'm
to. I'm
messing
still
with you,
friends
but-
with everybody.
but
No,
not
but
really.
I you know why? It's just continuously. It's not even a me thing. It's just by senses of the people that have grown with me over the past. I've known you, by the way, for 13 years now, I think.
You've been keeping count. That's so cute.
Shut up. You know, because I've known him for as long as I've been in this career. We started off basically at the same time. So, but every time that I continue to grow, the funniest thing, and to me, it's always a blessing. Whenever I'm like, oh yeah, no, Carolina Calix, nice to meet you. And they're like, oh my God, are you Carolina Calix con tu tiempo? So that's what I'm like that. I never in my wildest thoughts thought that was going to be such a pinned down moment of to who I became and how I was recognized. So I think that's why iHeart was such a big moment.
To which, unless there's like copyright issues going on there, like you should definitely like bring that back, even if it's just on social media. And I don't know. That was just like a light bulb that went off. I'm just throwing that one out there.
I think it was just all the right energies at the right time.
That's awesome.
We were launching a new station, and you know, I was a part of it. I was very passionate about it. And aside from that, I also think I had great mentorship in iHeart, you know. People like Elvis and Enrique are not people that you normally just connect with.
Yeah. I was
And
gonna say that.
so being able to learn underneath them and see such strong individuals do what they do in different languages helped me also kind of like hone that in. You know, because Elvis has never been afraid to be himself. We hear him all the time. He's been on the radio for God knows how long. You know,
For real.
Elvis Duran, yeah, a nationwide platform. Enrique, the same thing. And Enrique is very Latin and proud, very Cuban and proud, very American as well and proud. And he was never afraid to showcase that. So having those two strong personalities and their teams
Right.
open their arms to me, at that pivotal point of my career, I think was beautiful.
All right, let's jump into our next wine. This is a Gerard Bertrand Côte de Rose Sauvignon Blanc.
Sauvignon Blanc.
A Sauvignon Blanc, which, if I'm not mistaken, is your favorite kind of wine.
Yeah, it is actually. Now, at the beginning it was first Moscato, you know, I was like,
Yeah.
But now after so many years of winosaurus.
That part.
Winosauring.
That part. Okay, so this one's from south of France. What we're looking for here is a little bit of citrus fruit aromas. Again, we got some guava, but we have a little bit of passion fruit this time. So
I love that.
it's fruity. And it's served chilled now. And I got to point out, this one has won an award, Wine Enthusiast 93 rating. So don't ever say I didn't,
Okay.
nice things, nice fancy things.
You know what? Cheers. Let's see if it's all cracked up to babe.
It just smells like it smells like something.
I will say, especially after a Moscato, this one is a lot stronger, a lot more full. A lot more full.
It's dry.
Yeah, it is.
It's pretty dry here.
It is.
Yet I picture it like on a sunny day, as long as it's chilled.
In France.
In
a wine yard, in a vineyard.
So we've talked about this prolific career that you're still working on, right? Yeah. So this next question that I have for you is a little bit of a pivot. I want to get a little realsies with you.
Let's do it.
It's a two-part, to which I think that the second part, we're going to talk a little bit about how women have figured it out. Don't quote me. But there's stats out there. And I mean, it's been around for a long time. Like, this is a known fact, that the gender pay gap is real.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, the most recent stats state that 40% of women are still making less than 60% of men.
Oh, 100%.
Like, based on median. Now, I'm aware of this. Not only that, to go on with the stats,
I think in radio is probably more amplified because the ratio of men towards women in radio, very big.
Right.
And especially the ratio of women that hold the first mic, as we call it, that are the main hosts to the show. Versus the men.
Hold on.
Very big difference.
Let me get the question out there, because I know you got a lot to say with it, but I want to at least get my 2 cents along with it. But before that, like, the other stats go on to say that for every dollar that a man makes, women are making like about 80 cents. So there's a difference. You start to get into it, and then the stats go on. And go
of
on
course,
and
that's
on.
not including race. That's not including all of these other things.
For me, and I'm not paying attention to stats, I'm not like looking at it as a nationwide thing. I've only ever like surrounded myself with what I'm in close proximity with, which doesn't mean I'm like oblivious to what's known. It just means that I see the world for how it is based on like what I'm doing at the current moment, and I treat everybody as equal. In the career we've been in, I've actually seen women like kick ass.
Yeah.
I've seen them kick ass. I've seen women be appreciated and hired and go on to have great success based on their qualifications, not on their gender.
I think that is the most recent thing I want to say. A more recent thing.
And maybe I think it has a lot to do with the fact that, like, I per se, like me again, on a personal standpoint, like I try to surround myself with, like, if I'm the smartest person in that room, I don't want to be in that room.
Facts.
So I'm trying to be in rooms where I see like other people, like go-getters, like highly intellectual people that are doing things. So that's kind of been like the women that I've seen, but it doesn't escape the realities that I know that it exists. So for you, like, how do you interpret it? Like, what has your experience been when it comes to the gender pay gap?
I'm like big. I remember one of the companies that I worked for, and I'm not gonna single it out.
Yeah.
But one of the companies that I worked for, me and another guy had the same position, more or less the same job, But as far as the knowledge that we knew, I knew a lot more than him. And this wasn't this isn't me tooting my horn. Like, legit, this person, I remember he was leaving, had a new position somewhere else. And we had that forbidden conversation. How much do you get paid?
Oh, snap. Okay.
And I actually didn't bring it up. He brought it up. And I told him, and he's like, what? I get paid so-and-so. And I was like, what? And he's like, yes. And it shocked me so much because the skill set and the versatility that I had versus his was there. It was like he knew it. I knew it. When he left, he was like, yeah, no, I asked you this because I need you to understand your value and need you to understand that if they're paying me this much, you need to be getting paid a lot more. And that person left and encouraged me to go to my management and ask for that raise. And I did. I don't know if I would say I got more or less, I think a little bit over what he was getting paid. But I don't know if I would have gotten more if I was a man.
Oh, wow. Same position.
Same position.
And then obviously the skill set was a major difference based on what you're saying.
I will say I had more opportunity. I think I opened more doors because of my skill set, even though the pay wasn't there, which was very ass backwards if you ask me.
Because you feel it should be the other way around.
If your skill set is there to match, why not pay it? And then open the doors. You get what I'm trying to tell you?
And then just based off the scenario, like this person had like the same years of experience, like more, like.
No, I think they actually had less.
Okay.
They had a little bit less
So that
experience.
then that's where that issue is like still alive and going, because it would be something to be said if maybe your skill set supersedes them, but they had like some kind of tenure there, or like just.
No, they actually came in a little later than me.
Wow.
They did do a morning show,
Okay.
but I had also done a morning show before that. It was an interesting, I would say it was an interesting situation. I'm very appreciative for this friend because we're still friends. That he took the time to even ask me that. I think a lot of men tend to try to be friends to the women they work with, especially when they see there is talent. They try to root behind them. So I was very happy that before he left, he decided to step back and not only be a coworker, but be a friend. And tell me that, hey, like, you deserve more, you know? And I think hats off to him for having the cojones.
Shout out to our mystery guy.
Yes, which you know him too. He is a great person. But that.
I concur. Only because if I know people, they have to be good. No.
But that was an eye-opening moment. I think society also doesn't teach women too much to ask for more as far as pay. Because we do know that those things underlie in it, you know?
No, yeah, I think that there's a lot of that, but I feel like that goes around, like, transcends industries. Sometimes it might even transcend sex, but then I think we're getting off like topic. But yeah, like, I think for me, again, it should be based on your qualifications.
It should.
But that's just not how the world works, apparently. To which I say, this is why, like, I think that this part, go ahead and grab that glass of wine, because I feel like it's gonna get a little spicy. I think for me, this is where you guys get back at the world, and I say it like that because I've kind of noticed the trend here.
Mm-hmm.
But to continue with stats, Miami is now being considered the capital of OnlyFans, like the OnlyFans capital of the world. Like the most subscribers is here.
Yeah.
To which there's a big number in more women being on OnlyFans than there are to men.
I think women are starting to tap into our understanding of our youth and understanding of how to use that. I really do think that. I do think that it's a gray line there.
Super, because I feel like it's upsetting people. Yes, you're barking up the tree of doing some debaucherous stuff depending on what you're doing there, but this
Exactly,
is
because it depends what you do.
yeah. But this is where like things that I've noticed that have been kind of interesting. I've paid attention to certain men
Mm-hmm.
and how they talk about women making money on OnlyFans, because you guys are like, they're making money.
Oh my God.
They're making money.
Listen.
dog. Like they're making
I don't do it.
bank.
But I have friends. I have many friends.
Yeah.
Some that, do some real risque things to others that really are just hustling their intellect on there. To others that don't even show their face and they're showing their free honey and they're getting paid.
Something strange for a piece of change.
Yeah.
Why are guys getting mad at women that are making money on there? Like, what's up with that? I don't understand that. Like,
It's flipping the tables.
that's what it is.
It's
It has
flipping
to
the
be.
table.
It has to be. You know what drives me crazy? The way that it's been expressed to me, like, if I started an OnlyFans right now, like, I'm not gonna make any money. A girl can start an OnlyFans, she gonna make some money right now. It's like, but why you mad at that, dog? Like, what? So what? Like, let her get hers. I'm not telling you that's the person you want to go and like take a serious relationship with. Don't take the leap.
And why not though?
Hey, to each his own when it comes to like certain aspects. I wouldn't say that that's any like qualification that takes away or hinders from.
No,
or
but
adds
that's
to.
I will say that's a double-edged sword to what OnlyFans is. Because I think to a certain extent, since it is kind of based on beauty and stuff like that, there is somewhat of a time limit. And right now, what we're not seeing is what will be on the other side of that.
The consequences.
Exactly. Because even a lot of these influencers that have made it very big, not on OnlyFans, I'm talking about like Instagram, YouTube, doing like these pranks, doing these things. There is a full documentary actually on, I don't know if it's Netflix or Prime, one of these places, that they have said that being that influencer has affected them getting a job within the business. A lot of these influencers might want to be actors, but because they have that one video that went viral of them doing something stupid, when they go into these calls to do it, it's like automatically they're like, oh, you're that girl that, we're not interested.
So that's what.
Or you're that guy, we're not interested.
So it's not even like taken away from possible relationships, which to me, I feel like there's somebody out there for everybody, but it's also affecting them like long term in other ways.
Well, because at the end of the day, I think the world that we live in, corporate, still wants to maintain a certain business-like atmosphere for themselves.
If you're a creator, create.
Yeah.
Just freaking create.
Create, but you also got to know that there could be some backlash. I mean, just like me, like I talk this way and I am the Miami mommy, and I say that because that's literally on Hits Uno. I became the person, the representation, the female that represents South Florida, that it's the Miami Latina.
I love that. Good segue to our next thing.
But with that, just like everything else in the world, not all companies might want to partner up with your brand. And I think that's where that double-edged sword of being a content creator is. Yeah. And I think, if you're a content creator watching this, I think maybe always try to keep that in the front of your mind. Who are the companies that you might want to collaborate with? Because not all of them
are for you.
No, what?
Yeah.
Just like not all people are for you.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, don't be thirsty about like these collaborations and opportunities. I'd say like build on what you are strongest at, and then from there figure out what like ways to grow. But like,
no, and the more people are growing nowadays, they're growing on online. They're growing in front of a camera, and I think That's a great thing that at least we were born in that golden era that we got to experience.
It's literally like ours for the take.
Yeah.
It's ours for the take. All right. So yeah, just OnlyFans.
Make your money.
don't be mad.
Invest it right.
I'm just saying. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I'm raised by women. I freaking love women. I'm not mad at y'all. Like, get your money. Man.
No, I definitely think that you should just make sure that when you're ranking in the big bucks, you're smart about it. Don't just like spend it because you don't know what that next step might be. You don't know. And beauty is fading, you know? So you want to set yourself up for the next stage of your life.
Speaking of the next stages, our next wine is coming up right now.
Let's do it. I do like this one. Damn, you're already halfway. I'm like,
oh, by the way, you beat me to the first cup. By the way, like I was like there, like sipping it, and then the next thing I know is like yours was empty. I was like, oh snap, let me catch up.
oh my God. Okay, hold on. Cheers to a little bit. Last a little bit.
All right, so for our next wine, you are looking at on the table, which I don't know if it's in frame, but whatever. Like there's a table here, folks. Like the wine isn't just being magically like grabbed. So check this out. You are looking at a Doña Paula Estate Malbec.
Malbec. Is it Melbec or Malbec?
You know, I think that's open up to Malbec. Wherever you might be. In the case of this wine, it comes from the region of Argentina. 91 points, best of Argentina wine.
Wow.
With this one, you're gonna get a little bit of concentration and medium structure, but it's like still like soft on the tannins.
So I will say, as of lately, I am more of a white wine type of person.
Of course, because this is Miami and it's freaking hot.
Well, no, not only that. I don't know. Like I've heard, right? I don't think this is a myth, but I've heard red wine tends to stain the teeth.
Yeah.
So I'm not,
like,
a big fan of that.
Like that. The same way with coffee, which funny, like it's.
Well, that's the thing. I'm a coffee drinker.
You're a coffee drinker, so you're already like losing that battle, like in that sense. So like, why not drink some red wine? I actually had like a time where because of that, can't believe I was saying this. I was sipping my wine through a straw.
Yay. By the way, that gets you drunker quicker.
No way.
Yes, I promise.
Really?
Yes. There's some type of science behind that.
That would make sense. Like, what's in this wine? Like,
if you're a person that's out there and you're like, you know about this, let us know if this is truth. But I have heard if you sip it through a straw, somehow it just gets you drunker quicker.
Those are wild times for me now. It's all coming full circle. All right, let's see like a little swirl. You got where's your swirl game at?
Okay, that's getting a little too much.
That's because you had some wine before.
It's also a smaller cup. You're supposed to do a swirl in kind of a bigger, so it could air it out. There's not enough air into this cup. Cheers.
If you notice with what we did here, you guys don't imagine that. Like maybe you will. You got this whole little leg action going on, and the reason for that, they say the slower and the thicker the legs, it's a higher concentration of alcohol, sugar, and glycerol, which is used as a sweetening agent as well as in universal cleaning agents, which is very odd.
This is cleaning our souls.
Sure.
Cheers to that.
Sure. This is interesting.
I'm not a red person. I like the Sauvignon a little bit better, but I will say this Malbec is I would not mind this with a steak. Absolutely. Or like a pasta.
Absolutely pairs really well with some steak. But I am getting those hints that because it says that you should be catching like some black fruit, like blackberries.
Yeah. It's not bitter. It's nice.
It's not bitter. So like that word I used earlier, tannins, which I'm sure I'm going to mention this on this episode as well as some others, is basically the acidity from the skin of the grape.
Mm-hmm.
And the thicker the skin, the more acidic or the stronger the tannins is. In this case, like you're not really getting that. Like it kind of flows. It's still bold. It's definitely a bold wine.
But I will say, I think the one that we had prior is a little bit more bitter than this one, which I'm surprised.
The Sauvignon Blanc was
just a little tiny.
Yeah. It was definitely. I felt like the dryness.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why we're doing this, folks. Like every wine has a different story to tell and like a different flavor, and like it's just
Doña Paola knew her red wines for sure.
So Miami Mommy
Miami Mommy.
on SiriusXM.
On SiriusXM.
I'm gonna come at you a little hard now because I wanted to do something that speaks to who you are as a person,
Okay.
while at the same time like doing like speaks to you in your career.
Okay.
So this is what I came up with. I wanted to give you like a little bit of a quiz. She's like, really, Danny? Like, come on, I'm three wines in. Okay, but it's. I mean, come on, you're gonna ace this one. So I wanted to do a little thing we are going to call "How Miami Are You?"
Okay.
So what follows is I'm gonna read lyrics to songs,
Oh, God.
music,
All right.
it's your thing,
Okay.
and you're gonna guess who the Miami artist is.
All right. Let's do it.
I gotta tell you, some of them, I think they're just in the bag for you. I've known you for a long time. I know like Little Havana. You went to Miami High. I mean, come on, like this is like embedded in your DNA. But I did grab a couple. I was like, I want to like spice it up and see if she's gonna get this or not. So, all right, let's go through these. First one. They try to give me a got on my knees like Jesus, please. He don't even believe in Jesus. Why you got a Jesus piece? And I feel like this is gonna be one of the ones I'm gonna.
This has a good. Was it Rick Ross?
I'll give you one more try.
Is that I'm trying to get the melody to it because I know the lyric.
Okay. I'll do this for you. If you guess it, but you get it wrong, then the next time I do it, I'll try to sing it a little bit with the melody just to see if you get it. But I don't even know I could do this, but this is hard for me. They try to give me got me on my knees like Jesus, please. He don't even believe in Jesus. Why you got a Jesus piece?
Oh my God. Kodak.
That's it. If you're gonna get that one,
Kodak. Because I'm like, damn, I know this. I know the Jesus Please song. Kodak.
Okay,
Kodak Black.
That was Kodak on Rolling Peace.
Yeah.
Which not Miami Pompano.
He's Pompano.
But you know,
But he's not. We claim him. Anybody who's South Florida, we claim in Miami.
the culture's there.
Yes, for sure.
All right. So if you got that one, I don't know if I'm gonna keep giving you the freaking melodies to it because like we gotta make this.
Because I'm like, I know the lyric. I'm just the melody.
So check this out. The next one. Hey, I ain't never seen nothing that'll make me go this crazy all night. Spending my dough had the $1 million vibe and a body to go. Then birthday cakes, they stole the show.
Flow Rider.
This girl's good.
It's just the melody, but the last part, I was like, wait.
Shout out to
Flow Rider.
Yeah, because I'm trying to actually like do it without the melody.
Yeah, because that's.
If I give you the melody, you're gonna get it every time. All right. This one's gonna be tough. Dress you up like a Barbie girl, spending money as my hobby girl. Take you out to eat steak and shrimp because you're rolling with a Cuban pimp.
Pitbull.
Well, you want to give it one more try because I knew I was gonna get it on one.
Cuban pimp.
Dress you up like a Barbie girl, spending money's my hobby girl. Take you out to eat steak and shrimp because you're rolling with a Cuban pimp.
Last?
All right, that's yeah.
DJ Last.
All right. As long as we play like the burn and then like dee, 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 dee.
DJ Last.
Yeah.
Love me some Lav. Shout out to him, by the way.
Shout out to him.
He was definitely part of my part of my 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually over at SiriusXM too, at the Pitbull station.
Yeah.
At Globalization.
He's been doing that for a while too.
Yeah. So
What is that guy not freaking doing? I remember I had a conversation with him like off the air, and we were kind of like, I'm here. Like my brand is this. My brand is one. It was cool because you were talking to a guy who's been like in decades, like just transitioning and keeping up with the times. And at that particular time, he was talking about how I'm so used to, or my brand is going to these other cities, like out of town, and like doing these shows, like at the Bahamas and things of that nature. But then he was kind of like, do I really want to do like the afternoon, daytime parties, like at the Wynwoods and the Rouse? And to see him now, like that was like a few years ago, to see him now, like first of all, get the bag. Second of all, like we're going to where the people are going. You know what I mean? So like I it was cool to be off air, like having that conversation with him, like considering that move that you obviously see it like now alive.
I do think that you cannot mention Miami without mentioning Laz. He had a lot.
It's there.
He had a lot to do.
It's definitely there. It's definitely there.
So shout out to him for putting our city on the map for sure.
I don't know if I could keep making this one harder for you than that one, but let me see you get freaky, baby. Let me see you get nasty, mommy. Let me see you act like an animal straight out the cage, baby. Yeah, you know what? Like I feel like I was even like reading that one. Like look at the melody. Okay. Damn, this one's gonna be easy too. Is the rhythm of the island and like sugar cane so sweet? If you want to do the congo, you got to listen to the beat.
Gloria Stefan.
As I'm reading it, you're hearing it. All right. That's it. That's all I got. That was her doing the.
Oh my god! I'm surprised you didn't have about to put out the dance. So stay clear, bro.
But that's why I'm saying I was like, let me find like some, and then let me not like bombard you with the questions either. But you did good. You did good.
Thank you.
All right. Let's jump into our last wine, and we'll make sure we add that like somewhere. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so we've made it this far, and I think that this is where it gets nice and sweet, like bittersweet in a sense, because I feel like I could talk to you all freaking day.
We have sometimes.
the episode, yeah, we have. But the episode has to come to an end. So on our last wine, I thought I'd take us to Cooper's Hop.
Okay.
This one, and this one's called the Nightjar. It's a dessert wine from California. It's a port-style wine with, again, black cherry, blueberry, notes of cocoa bean, and chocolate cake. To which I wanted to share. I don't normally do this, but I figured, cake, wine, and why not? Actually, producer Lenville, if you could check, I think it's in that bag or next to that bag, there's actually something that goes with the wine to pair with. And the girl at Cooper's Hop, who I believe her name was Gabby, was like, you gotta try this. Convinced me to get the freaking membership. And was like, I'm gonna throw these chocolates in there.
I love Cooper Hog.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, shout out to them. Honestly, last time I was there, I did a wine tasting and they got me down with one of their memberships as well. So.
Oh, yeah? You too? Oh, okay.
I mean, if you haven't been, if it's in your hometown, if it's in your city, you should definitely try it out. They're really good with the wine.
Then maybe we should put my membership together with your membership, and that's just a whole lot of wine.
We could definitely have a wine tasting.
All right, so the Nightjar.
Cheers. All right, so should we do chocolate first or wine first?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Feel like, I'm going to do the chocolate first.
Because you're a chocolate lover, and I know that about you, so have at it.
I also feel like this might be like a palate cleanser.
Oh, wow. As you're doing that and let that settle in, and then...
Have you seen me licking this, by the way? It's like a jelly chocolate in there. Kind of making love to chocolate. I'm sorry.
Okay. Dark chocolate truffle there. Like, what other show are you going to, like, indulge in the finer things of life?
Whoa.
So... Welcome to the Nightjar. You've made it this far.
That is insane.
Before we get into you, and let's talk about this wine right here. So I just told you it's from Cali. All the aromas of blueberry and black cherry are there. I smelled that as I swirled it.
That's really strong.
That strong, big, robust like body that you're tasting is because this Nightjar is made with brandy.
That's what I taste.
And it's higher in like alcohol level because.
Oh, you could taste the brandy. That sounds like what is going on?
Yeah.
Wow.
Good stuff.
In other words, you should definitely drink that slow. Okay, we got it.
All right, so wrapping this up, tell me what's next for Carolina Calix. Like, what big projects are you working on? Like,
well, I mean, right now, thankfully, I keep growing in SiriusXM, so I'm on Hits 1. Which is a top 40 American station, all English, the biggest station and the first station that SiriusXM has, Channel 2. So I'm doing that and thankfully kind of falling back into bridging the gap between, the cultures of being a Latina and being American being born and raised here, and how kind of that is a marriage in people who have the same type of story that I have. And I'm just proud of that, and just keep growing. Now you could Google me, which is crazy to say. You can Google me. And nothing, just keep growing, kind of finding more ways to give back to the community, even though I'm in a national platform now. I've always been very involved in the local aspect of it, but now I'm just elevating that to the national.
Which, I mean, yeah, man, if that doesn't speak freaking growth, if you think about like radio as a whole, and I think a lot of it was like just that community aspect that gravitated me like to radio, and for you to still like embody that, but now you're taking that onto the national stage, like that's a game changer. That's good for the brand. That's good for Miami. Shout out to you, Carolina Calix.
Thank you for watching Coffee and Cabernet
with Danny Doe.
Make sure you're subscribed and follow us at Coffee and Cabernet Podcast.